Carne Porco a Alentejana. Carne de Porco a Alentejana, or pork with clams, is a traditional dish in Portuguese cuisine, which, despite its name, actually might originate from the Algarve region in the south. As for the recipe itself, it is prepared with clams, pork, paprika, bay leaf, wine, and garlic, among other possible seasonings. The cooking process involves frying the pork, which is then served mixed with the already cooked clams. At the end, it can be sprinkled with cilantro, and it is typically accompanied by cubed fried potatoes and lemon. On one hand, the fact that one of the dish's most distinctive ingredients is clams has led to the belief that its origin is tied to the Algarve. In the Algarve, pigs were often fed fish meal, fish bones, or leftovers from the canning industry, which gave the pork a slightly marine flavor. To mask this taste, clams were added to the dish. On the other hand, the pork raised in the Alentejo was fed on acorns and pasture all in the open air, resulting in higher quality meat. Supporters of this pork saw fit to promote the idea of the recipe being called Carne de Porco a Alentejana to reflect its superior quality. Indeed, the widespread consumption of pork in Portugal only became more common after King Manuel I enforced the conversion of non-Christian populations in the late 1400s. Jews and Muslims, whose religious beliefs prohibited the consumption of pork, were compelled to convert to Christianity, and this shift may have allowed for the integration of pork into broader Portuguese cuisine. From the 16th century onward, the Inquisition recognized the refusal to eat pork as irrefutable proof of a false conversion of Moors or Jews. It is therefore not surprising that, from this time onward, to avoid denunciation, some of these families may have started to adopt this diet as a family dish as well, eventually replacing lamb, more expensive and seen as a symbol of sacrifice and generosity. During this period, while the maintenance of distinct dietary habits and customs still remained a reality, signs of acculturation also began to emerge in some individuals, particularly through the consumption of pork, one of the most evident signs of integration. The dish as we know it today only became possible after the discovery of the New World, which brought a new element into Europe's gastronomy called potatoes. This particular tuber started to be consumed not until the people fully accepted it as a non-poisonous food, due to the fact that it was known as the fruit of the devil, a plant that grows underground. Moreover, at the time, it was believed that the appearance of food was an indication of the diseases it could cause, and, as it was considered that this tuber resembled the hands of a leper, the myth quickly spread that eating it caused leprosy. The opinion of doctors at the time was not very different either, considering it indigestible and tasteless, only suitable for feeding animals, and a necessary evil on sailors' long voyages around the world. So before the tasty cube-fried potatoes of today, this dish was served accompanied with acorns and chestnuts. Indeed, one may say that both humans and pigs ate the same food and didn't get any leprosy from it, right? There is this winter ritual that was created around the pig, originating in antiquity and carried through successive civilizations, where the animal was offered as a sacrifice to the gods. This tradition in its modern form, based on community and family gatherings, is now banned under legislation established in Brussels, within the European Union, by the same people who watch indifferently as fast food and other so-called plastic foods proliferate. To preserve this cultural heritage, some residents of small villages continue the cultural practice discreetly, taking advantage of prolonged and providential absences of Food Safe Authority Department inspections. Most importantly, in Portugal, pork is considered to be the most tasteful meat among the Portuguese and the second most consumed, with a per capita consumption of around 40 kilos per year. Within the European Union context, Portugal is the 13th largest producer of pork. So with this being said, it is clear that codfish is not the #1 food dish consumption in Portugal. Should we put a crown on the pig instead?